Most of our projects initially were for public sector owning rundown housing estates. It became known as community architecture in the 80s. We then moved into community planning, which is looking at whole neighbourhoods or indeed whole cities. And again, people mostly thought we would be working forever for community groups or the public sector. The big change came when we were asked to look at Caterham Barracks in Surrey for Linden Homes. And it's very interesting because of bad consultation, the value of the site owned by the Ministry of Defence was devalued when it was a development brief, which was a very negative one, was created on the basis of consultation, bought cheaply by the developers, but with a completely undeliverable development brief. That was transformed by a community planning process whereby we worked with over 1,000 people. We added 100 million of development value, and the developers gave 5 million away to the community in terms of community benefits through development trusts, and all that took place over a 6-day process. So with that change process, the development industry woke up and said, hey, something's going on here. And since then, in fact, some of our more successful events have been for the private sector, always though engaging the public sector and the community as well. But when driven by the private sector, you get much more clarity and quickness of decision making. And if you're going to win friends and gain confidence with people, it's much easier to do with that if you can respond very quickly. And people can say, I will do this, rather than saying, I'll go and find somebody who will tell me whether I can agree to this or not. So it's difficult for the public sector, but in all our projects, you have to have the public sector, the private sector, and the community working together. And ultimately, it's not so relevant who's commissioning it. It's the challenge is to bring all the parties together for this solution to arrive and for there to be common ownership.